Thomas is trying to confuse me by telling me the day of the week it really is. Hello world! Qapla! It's Birdo Prey 5 and it is Wednesday. So it's time for another episode of Deep Space Nine. This week we're up to Season 2, Episode 3, The Siege. The third and final part of the opening three-parter for Season 2 of Deep Space Nine. The very first time they did a three-part episode in franchise history. Of course, the first two-parter was done way back in TOS, and then both TNG and Discovery, Jesus Christ. Both TNG and DS9 started with two-parters, and also TNG had several two-parters throughout its run, as will Deep Space Nine. But three-parter, first time. And it's been a pretty good one so far. So I see some people are already here. Thomas Potts was first. Hello, Thomas. Shronmore says, greetings, Birdo Prey 5, Mamo Prey 5, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. Thank you. John DeMarco says, hi all. Welcome, John. And then Thomas Potts with a $1.99 super chat says, I almost forgot it was Wednesday, which sent me into a panic. Because if Thomas is saying it's Wednesday, it has to be any day except Wednesday. But no, it is indeed Wednesday. So Thomas is trying to scare me. It worked. It worked, Thomas. Multi-Gunman is banning Thomas Potts. Why not? Yosef Petrick says, hey, Joe, Mamo, Bray, Sassy, and the flock. Welcome, Yosef. Multi-Gunman says, hey, Bird, how's it going? It's going good, Multi-Gunman. Been a good couple of days. Things are looking good and strong in Kuroga. The SOB Frank Sinatra is complete. I didn't quite get it on a test run. I was able to move it slightly amongst the shipyard. I didn't get into space yet, but I'm not anticipating any problems. Hopefully this week you guys will see the SOB Frank Sinatra in action. The SOB Sammy Davis Jr. I had out today. I let Cinnabon try to attack it. Everything he did just bounced off. He was just testing his ships. But even the Sammy Davis Jr. Way ahead of the pack. The Rat Pack of ships. The Martin is yet unseen, but the Rat Pack will rule the galaxy. Mark my words. Shronmore says, and greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. And Sassy right now is, in fact, I think that's defiling. It's attacking a cushion, a pillowcase. Oh, good girl, Sassy. Thomas Potts says, where's Anti-Trigger at? Where's Anti-Trigger at? Still asking the same questions from yesterday. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. All hail the great bird of the internet. Greetings, Mike Richards, and thank you. Hail. Live with Matthews has Qapla, Birdo Prey, and all. Happy DS9 Wednesday. Happy DS9 Wednesday to you, Life with Matthew. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to set up the stream. So if you want to, you can watch it. I can watch it. I didn't put it on Discord. I'll have to do that before we start. Shronmore said, when Bird flies to the moon, watches spaceship go boom. That's his live stream. And also, home in Kuroga, where Sassy and the alpacas play, where often is heard an SOB from Bird And he flips off Turdistan all day. So, funny thing about alpaca. Yesterday, I was on Nerdrotic's patron-only stream, which is a very small stream. Honestly, even though Nerdrotic has like 130,000 subscribers, his patron-only stream is actually smaller than when Anti-Trekker used to do his subscriber-only streams, and I'm sure he'll get back to him. So it's like 5, 6, 7, 8 people, 10 people perhaps. And I was in it, and Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey was in it. Now, I know Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. I've never seen them in my streams before, but I've seen them on Nerdrotic, on Doomcock, and out there. And anyway, so I said Qapla like I normally do, and Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey said alpaca back. And I was like, oh, are you actually a secret fan? Or have you been watching and lurking? I said, are you actually watching and lurking? And he didn't know what I was talking about. I said, oh, you said alpaca. Alpaca's become a big thing on my live streams. I thought you were watching, but I never saw you there. And he is like, oh, no, I just was trying to think of Qapla backwards. And alpaca was the closest he could come up with. So he found a totally different road to alpaca than Sister O'Prey, because Sister O'Prey was not thinking what's Qapla backwards. And that was not at all her reasoning. But so alpaca is being spread to other people across the internet are now addressing me as alpaca, despite having no knowledge of what's been going on in my own live streams. Crazy. Mike Richards says, and part 4 is Besieged. No. But Besieged is a good game, or Besiege. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello, welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. I can't wait to destroy you with the SOB Frank Sinatra. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello, and Qapla. When do we see the SOB Sinatra crash? Never. Never. You will see it destroy everything that comes in its path. The SOB Sinatra does not retreat. Yosef says, Hope Mom's head is not in the attack cushion. Lol. No, she doesn't have her head in the cushion. It's close by. Sassy, that's not food. Oh, so there was that jerky, I got, that unfortunately I didn't personally enjoy, but Sassy loves her dog jerky that came from the beef jerky outlet with the URL on antitrekker.com. If you're interested, and as people tell me, it's delicious jerky. I'd never ever had jerky before. I didn't think I would like it, but I tried their prime rib jerky just to try jerky, and as expected, I didn't like it. I had one piece, and no. So we had this whole package of jerky here that Mama Prey wasn't going to eat. So we asked Camille if she wanted it or if she knew somebody who liked jerky, and Camille knew somebody who liked jerky. So Mama Prey gave the bag of the prime rib jerky to Camille today, but Sassy saw this, and then Sassy started crying and getting all upset because Sassy thought that was her jerky Mom was giving away. So Mama Prey had to get out her jerky for Sassy. And Sassy was a little better. But then even after Camille left, Sassy was running back and forth, looking at the table, trying to make sure her jerky was still up there. Which it was. We weren't giving away your jerky, Sassy. Don't worry. Showmore says it's never cheating when Kuroga does it. Oh, Kuroga doesn't cheat. And guys, remember, switch on over to live chat, please. It's not so big a deal while we're, streaming. But if you're watching this on repeat, you'll see like 0 comments. But trust me, there are people commenting. I'm not crazy. It's not all in my head. I don't think. Shromore, yes, never cheating. Shromore is lolling at Yosef. Addy in stereo says first. I identify as first. Respect my choices. Sure, Addy. I'll respect you. You are the first one here after everyone else. Welcome. Mike Richards says proof the bird is cruel and evil. What do I do now? And Yosef says likes. We need likes. Well, refresh the page, Yosef, if it's looking particularly terrible. All day yesterday, Mom will pray noticed it on my stream, then I noticed it on Laura's stream and on Nerdrotic stream. Everybody who was Egotastic Fun Time, everybody who was looking at their streams yesterday was like, where are the likes? And even this morning, where are the likes? Where are the likes? Where are Trek Yards? They were like, oh my God, we have like 2 likes. We usually have like 150 likes by now. I was like, no, it's YouTube. Refresh the page. And then sure enough, yes, if you refresh the page, the likes usually show up. But even if they don't show up immediately, they are there. Mamo Praise like didn't show up till the next day, but it did eventually show up. So I'm thinking YouTube is counting the likes, but they're having a problem actually just showing the likes. So people don't need to panic, but please do like the video if you enjoy it. Dislike the video if you don't enjoy it. But please leave a comment as to what I could do better if you don't like it. I'm okay with that. I don't mind criticism. Shromore did his part. Roland says, hail, Roland. And he liked. Thomas's Bird of Prey, Turtistan declines to take part in the Great Karoga Alpaca War. Well, you're in the Great Karoga Turtistan War, so it doesn't matter if you're going to take part in the Alpacan War or not. Mike Richards says you can ran a head trip on poor little Oh, I didn't mean to. And I didn't do it, technically. Mamo Prey did. Shromore says, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. Bird Prey. Oh, that's true. I would say that. Yosef, I've never disliked any of your videos. Well, thank you, Yosef. That's very kind of you. I've never disliked any of your videos, Yosef. I don't know if you've done any videos, but if you did, I've never disliked them. Honestly, I've never disliked anybody's video that's ever come to one of my live streams. Or, I talk with. In fact, other than like CBS videos or actual like corporate put out videos, I don't dislike videos from other YouTubers, other smaller YouTubers, even if they're big YouTubers, even if they're 100,000, 200,000 subscriber YouTubers. If I don't like their video, I just don't watch it, and I just click off, and I don't go back. There's no point in giving them a dislike, because it doesn't. It only helps the video, and B, it really doesn't. A dislike doesn't convey any information. If I really disliked your video, like Steve Shive's video, I'd leave a comment, and then I just stopped coming back to him, which is exactly what happened. And with knowing better, I'd leave comments, and then I'd just stop going back. But for many other people whose videos I check out here and there, if I don't like your video, I just don't watch it anymore. I'm not gonna. I don't use dislike like that. But if it's like CBS, sure, I'll dislike a CBS video. This way, everybody can see that, they put out a Star Trek Discovery trailer or something, and it's got 500,000 dislikes and, 12,000 likes. And then I want my number counted. It's more of a poll than an actual dislike. Shroudmore says, let us remember the yellow cake uranium orphans of Karoga. Sassy is given a 21 bark salute to the yellow cake orphans. Thank you, Sassy. Chris Purser says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, and family. The weekend was ruthless for live streams. YouTube was removing likes faster than people could click. Yes. Yes, they were. Although, in fairness, after the dust had settled the next day, the likes seemed to have come back. But that's the thing. We don't know, and they never admit that, hey, this is happening. And a week later, they'll say, oh, we noticed a problem with the likes. Be patient. Sassy, what's going on there, baby? Your jerky's still here, Sassy. No, I'm not blaming Mama Prey. I was just pointing out that it wasn't, Sassy wasn't mad at me. Josh treats his bird. When are you going to sell Karogan number, selling them outside of Karoga, the Bird of Prey 5 Halloween costume? When are you going to sell Karoga's #1 selling item outside of Karoga, the Bird of Prey Halloween costume? I don't think anybody's ready to make a Halloween costume of me. If they did, they just need like a bald head and a little facial hair. They could probably do it. Sassy, what's the matter? Sassy wants Mama Prey to chase her. That's basically what's going on. Yosef says, my videos are on the other tube. Just kidding. Not Ryan Johnson says, the SOB Sinatra crew is all singing alpacas. I wish. Yosef says, I'm still getting Shive's video recommendations despite unsubscribing. You have to also tell YouTube you're not interested in this video, and when they ask why, you tell them you're not interested in this publisher or whatever it is. This channel. Yeah, this channel. Yeah. Chris Purser says, I didn't know alpacas could sing. I was under the impression all they did was spit. Well, if frogs can sing, alpacas can sing. Thomas's Bird of Prey Kurdistan is doing scientific research and willing to negotiate a trade agreement with Karoga for materials. Oh, very interesting. What materials would you like, Thomas? Mike Richards says, I'd like to see a herd of singing alpacas. Stromore says, if I don't like a channel, I don't give them a comment or dislikes. I just don't go click on any of their videos. I won't give them the watch time. That's perfectly fair. And Josh reads his bird. Sassy isn't happy. I did not eat Beagle Bits for lunch. Now Sassy's drinking. Good for her. Okay, guys. So I'm going to give me a minute if you guys want to comment amongst yourselves. I apologize. I should have done this beforehand, but I just need a minute to get my software set up here so that I can watch the stream and you guys can watch it too if you're so inclined at Discord, but it's going to take me a minute. Okay, going into this other browser, going to the website and now it's not working. There it is. Entering channel name BOP5. Adding the video to the super secret URL. Gotta give myself.
Last time on Deep Space Nine.
Shut off the audio for you guys. I've got to give myself administrative permissions, and I can pause it and rewind. There we go. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Set that up correctly. Good. Oh, good. Oh shit! I'm in the wrong screen. I don't think I've been in the wrong screen the whole time. Have I? Well, now we're now on the Defiant. If I wasn't on the Defiant before, my apologies. Yes. So, you guys know the drill. When I hit play, you guys are going to be able to follow along in this box in the bottom left of the screen. And of course, if you yes, I was on the wrong screen. Okay. Well, now I'm on the right screen. Now I'm on the right screen. No harm done. No harm done. Okay. I'm putting the link on Discord right now. I forgot to. Let's go to Discord. Opening Discord. It's actually, I mean, if you guys save that link, it'll be the same link each week. So, if it's useful to you to bookmark that link, that's fine. But right now, if you go to birdoprey5.com and click on my link to go to my Discord, link to watch DS9, I just put it into the off-topic main section of my Discord, and that will allow you to watch it with me as I watch it, like you were here in my living room with me as we were just all friends watching Deep Space Nine. However, if you don't want to or can't do that link, then by all means, please bring up Deep Space Nine Season 2, Episode 3 on Netflix, on Hulu, on CBS All Access, on Amazon, on iTunes, or even if you have the DVD, bring it up yourself and watch along with me, please. Because obviously I cannot play the music or the audio, nor can I play the video live on YouTube because, you know, CBS would get mad, understandably so. So, what you guys will get will be screenshots in the bottom corner there. That'll just give you an idea where we are in the episode if you've seen it before. And anyone else, you know, you make the best of it. You can make the best of it. So let me just read through whatever last comments there were. And again, also from this point out, please make sure you put @BirdoPrey5 into the comment if you want me to read it, because obviously I'm going to be commenting on the live, not live, but on the video, so I won't be able to read all the comments. But if you put @BirdoPrey5, I'll do my best to comment, and of course if you super chat, I will comment, but you don't have to super chat, just put @BirdoPrey5. Where are we? Mike Richards would like to see a herd of singing alpacas. I think I read that. Yeah, Schronmore said what he does. John Street says Sassy. Right, no, I read that. Yeah, John DeMarco says Sassy is drinking. I didn't realize things had gotten so bad. Yes, no, water. Mike Richards is laughing. Yosef says, I was watching the Flat Earth video before this stream. People are weird. I can't do it. I can't. Schronmore says, Bird of Prey, though if you visit see, I don't dislike, like, we know, Darren. Darren is a friend of Anti-Trekker's channel. I think I've seen him here a couple of times. Darren is a very cool guy. He seems like a very down-to-earth guy. Former submarine, veteran, submariner. I'm not sure the exact term, but he was stationed on a Navy submarine for some time. Really, really cool guy. I like him a lot, but he is our resident flat earther. And he also does videos, and most of the videos I've seen are actually very good videos because they don't mention flat earth too much. But even if he did a flat earth video, which I didn't like, I still wouldn't dislike. I've never disliked. I didn't dislike his streams. I would write comments saying that, I don't this, and this. I don't agree with you, but I don't. Even his videos, I don't dislike. But if there were videos, if it wasn't him, if it was a random flat earther, the thing is I just wouldn't be watching a flat earth video because it's so ridiculous to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love watching conspiracy videos, UFOs, Bigfoots, all types of things that I think have some merit. But flat earth, no. Flat earth has no merit.
What are we talking
Showmore says, bird of prey, though if you visit channels you dislike, to quote mine, you often find gold. On TYT, heard them say sexism is funny. It's out of context, but pure gold from an SJW Central. See, I don't even know what TYT is, Showmore. But you don't have to tell me, because if it's SJW, I don't care. Mike Richards says, Joseph, you're just realizing that now. Josh Reed says, bird of prey, yes, you are on the wrong screen. Thank you. Live with Matthew, I put the link in Discord now. Joseph says, Mike Richards, low the level of weirdness. Sassy girl. Something behind the bed? I don't know. She's barking like there's something back there. Mike Richards, the weirdness of level is shocking, says Joseph. Live with Matthew says, what? You're making common mistakes like you're a real person, unsubbing. I'm sorry, Live with Matthew. Joseph says, Netflix is ready on his side. Very cool. Mike Richards is saying, I'm not weird. Joseph is saying, neither am I. Lying on the carpet with dogs and cats occupying the sofa. We've been there, Joseph.
I was almost there.
Derek McManus says, greetings, bird. Greetings, Derek. Mike Richards, can I watch on VHS? Yes, you can. If you have it on VHS, make sure you rewind it right now, and you'll hit play. Get it past the FBI warnings and any nonsense, and just get it ready to the very beginning of the episode, and hit pause, and then we'll hit play at the same time. Derek McManus says, sorry I'm late, Mr. Bird. Thomas says, Bird, I want to watch on 4K 3D. I'm sorry, Thomas. They didn't even release it in 1080p. We don't have a 4K option. Sassy is restless right now. I don't understand what she's doing. She might not like the rain. I don't know. Ty Coles is here. Welcome, Ty Coles. Ty Coles put out a video recently. Check him out. I was at his channel. I watched it. Oh, he's here as Commodore Ty. There we go. Welcome, Commodore Ty. Okay, Commodore Ty, our Commodore. He has the channel. Check out the Commodore Ty channel. For sure. And Commodore Ty is a certified nerd on antitracker.com. Derek McManus says Darren was a submariner. Submariner always seemed okay to me. He is. He's a very cool guy. I like him. I just can't deal with the flat earth stuff. I mean, I'm not going to listen. He has every right. You have every right to talk about that stuff, and I have every right to just not engage with it. I'm not saying he shouldn't be allowed to do it. I'm not saying he shouldn't do it. I'm not saying any of that at all. It's just like, there are things I can accept. There are things that I can, disagree with, but engage with people just to, to make them come around. If I have some belief that I have some method, some way that I could even potentially change their mind, right? Even the biggest political enemy of mine, if they were willing to have an open, discussion about something, I would do it. I'd discuss it with them. I'd argue back and forth with them. I'd make them prove their points. And we might argue for a minute, an hour, a day, a week. I don't know. But eventually we'd either get tired of arguing and agree to call it a day, or, one of us would change our minds, which is rare, but it's a possibility. But flat Earth, there's like I said, I love the guy, but there's nothing to engage with there. Miss Londell says, Qapla, Miss Londell. Mike Richards says, so flat seer, I suppose. Miss Londell says, the Earth is not flat. It's a rhomboid. It's rhomboid shaped. Sharmore says, TYT is the Young Turks. I've heard of the Young Turks, but I don't really know much about them. Mike Richards says, Monty Python says it's banana shaped. Commodore Ty says, sorry for not being around. Been very busy in my life. No problem, Commodore Ty. It happens to people. I know. Yes, we hope it was a good busy. Mr. Lundell says, Mike Richards, Monty Python is dead wrong. I have it on good authority. It's a rhomboid. What the hell's a rhomboid? I know what a rhombus is. Mike Richards is giving a thumbs up with a laugh. Or a rhombird, says Mike Richards. And Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey, for Halloween you should watch the Banana Splits movie. It's a 2019 American horror comedy. Well, you lost me at horror. I don't watch horror movies. I have zero interest in horror movies. I never did. So I don't understand what a horror comedy is. A comedy making fun of a horror movie, then it usually isn't a horror movie. But I'm not even interested in movies that make fun of horror movies, because I'm not interested. I never saw the horror movies they're making fun of, so it doesn't make sense to me. But if you say it's good, I'll take your word for it. Commodore Toy says, Josh Street, I could do that and review it. Oh, very cool. You should, because I'm not. Yeah, not for me. Okay, guys, and Sassy O'Bray seems to have quieted down, so I think it is time to get, yes? Oh. Okay, well, then we'll keep talking for a minute. We got to wait till the neighborhood dog passes. Dogs pass. Oh. Oh, okay, so then we'll just start. Then we'll start. We don't know when they'll be back. Okay, guys, if you're going to watch along, get your stuff queued up. If you're going to watch it here, you can... Where did it go? There it is. You can watch in the bottom there. In fact, let me go a few seconds on it. There we go. That's actually 7 seconds in, because there was quite a few seconds of emptiness at the beginning of this episode. Okay, so get ready. And if you're going to be watching on the Discord link, go ahead and head over there. And you can close this browser. Yes, this is The Siege's Part 3. So this is really the final part of the season opener. Okay, so I'm going to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Last time on Deep Space Nine. They're going about the circle again. The circle's an extremist faction, Bajor for the Bajorans. So Kira wants to take the runabout to Cardassian 4 to rescue a Bajoran prisoner. Her and O'Brien go. They bring back Lenalis. Lenalis turned out to be a fraud, but Sisko tells him Bajor doesn't need a man, they need a symbol. And then we find out that Kira is no longer the liaison officer to Deep Space Nine. She's been recalled back to Bajor. Pouring rain. Quark is saying that everything's ending. They got to get out of there. And we find out that the head of the Bajoran government is actually head of the Circle. The Circle is actually being supplied with weapons by Cardassians. They don't know it. But basically the Circle, if the Circle kicks out the Federation, then the Cardassians are going to come right in and take back over. Then we find out that Vedic Wynn and the new leader are actually in bed together. They've given non-Bajorans 7 hours to evacuate the station. So Sisko's telling everybody on the station that the Federation says they have no choice, that they were here at the request of the Bajoran government, and now the government's given them, 7 hours to leave. So he's going through how all the people who've been working closely with Bajorans made Bajoran friends. Their kids have become friends with Bajorans. So Sisko's saying he's decided to stay just to make sure evacuation's proper. So now O'Brien and Dr. Bashir are finding excuses to stay as well. So Sisko is saying, before you guys agree to stay, understand what you're getting into. We're going to be delaying the takeover of the station long enough to we're going to have to stay long enough to show the Cardassians are really supplying the Circle. It's not going to be easy. They've been told you're their blood enemies. So he's giving, this is their last chance to leave in one piece. Some of you have families, some of you are on temporary assignments. Anyone who wants to evacuate is dismissed. And does even one of them evacuate? No. Even O'Brien with a wife and kid. So he said non-Bajorans won't be safe. Our family and children need to be evacuated. And Sisko's also sure that some of the Bajorans that's worked with them will want to leave too. And he says a lot of work to be done. Dismisses everybody. Josh says, Bird, we know Bird wants to be with Wynn. Absolutely not. Wesley Crusher says, greetings, Bird, turds, and alpacas. I got here late. Boo. Well, you got here right at the beginning of the episode, Wes. You missed a lot of small talk, but we're at the credits. This is The Siege. This is the 3rd episode of the 2nd season. We see the space station come into view. We got the uplifting Deep Space Nine music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Yeah, you get to hear more about the circle. That is true. I don't buy that Bajorans are so stupid they're going to kick out the Federation and think they can hold off the Cardassians. John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. Very appreciative. You got a fitting Deep Space Nine animation, but not Dax. Not Dax. Not today, John Araki, but thank you very much. Yosef says DS9 has circles, but TNG has cubes. Indeed. Okay, credits are over. We got the promenade, people heading to evacuation. So it looks like we have some Federation people actually evacuating, even though they weren't up in ops. So Quark is saying hundreds of people to evacuate, only 3 tiny runabouts available. And Quark, Rom says it means a lot of people will be left behind. It's tragic. Quark is saying it means we could make a fortune. People will pay anything for a seat on those ships. Rom won't sell his seat, he says. And John Araki with a $2 super chat says, not today. Sounds like a challenge. I'm so sorry, John Araki. I didn't mean to set you on a challenge, but I hope maybe today. Maybe today. So Quark is talking Rom into selling his seat. It'd have to be a deal of a lifetime. All the gold-pressed latinum he could carry. So he talked Rom into selling his seat, even though Rom is probably going to die. So here they find out that Nog and Jake are on different ships. All the ships are going to different places, so they're not going to see each other. Rom is saying, this will be over in no time. We'll be back in a few days. Rom is being very optimistic and Jace is being very pessimistic. So Rom points out that there's nobody, no human and Ferengi are better friends, and even the fathers couldn't break them up. Rom promises they'll see each other again. It's a promise. Odo comes by and tells them to move on, get to where you gotta be. Can't be fooling about. And Keiko and Molly. It all started with your school, Keiko. You should have just taught the wormhole aliens. So O'Brien flat out lies, saying he has no choice. And she's like, you don't? And now O'Brien says, you can't just let the carnies have the wormhole. Keiko's like, they can have the whole galaxy for all I care. Little Molly's asking, where are we going? And O'Brien says, on a ride. And she asks, are you coming too, Daddy? He says, soon. He'll walk Keiko to the airlock. How nice of him. Abandoning his family. I don't consider this a nagging scene. I think she has an absolute right here. He did not have to stay, and he has a wife and daughter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condemning him for making his choice, but it's a very tough choice, and I can completely understand Keiko is upset that he's putting Starfleet over his family. Kira is asking for a ride. She knows that there's some old Bajoran raiders somewhere. And apparently they're impulse ships, and one of Dax's prior hosts knew things about impulse engines better than anyone else. So Dax and Kira are going to go try and get some of their old impulse fighters up and running. So Odo brings in Quark. Quark is complaining, and Odo says that Quark was selling extra seats. And so Cisco asked Quark where did he get extra seats. Quark didn't want to give him an answer. And Cisco strangles Quark a little and says, a few trades. Thank you again, John Araki, for another $1 super chat. Cisco's still holding Quark by the neck. That's not... that the Federation wouldn't allow that. It's a good thing Quark doesn't complain. So apparently Quark oversold the shuttle tickets, which he says is a accepted Ferengi practice. And thank you again, John Araki. You got the JJ Enterprise. I don't know about that. So Quark gets Odo to say he'd miss him. And then Odo says, I'll miss the petty theft, the bad manners, the aggravation. And Quark says, take care of yourself, Odo. So Quark still thinks he's going to be able to leave. So Cisco is begging for civility. Civility, please. Okay, so Linalis comes over here, and he's asked them, where are they going? Why are you running? You're Bajorans. This is Bajor. You guys shouldn't be abandoning it. And thank you again, John Araki. He's saying these ships are for our guests who must leave. We are Bajorans. It's safe for us. He says we stay and we solve our own problems together. I don't understand why these Bajorans would be leaving in the first place. Honestly, it never really occurred to me that they'd all be leaving. So the ships are about ready to launch, and there's Morn. Morn getting on. I appreciate John Araki. I do. I'm sorry. So Jake is saying that he should stay, but Cisco... thank you again, John Araki, but no. Close, but no cigar. Actually, it's not close at all. But it was a good one. It's a fake. So Cisco is telling Jake he'll see him in a couple weeks. He gave Jake a letter, but don't read it now. O'Brien comes out, says they're all set. And Quark is running down, trying to run down the hallway, dragging. Oh, poor John Araki. That's about as opposite of Kissy Dax as you can get. But thank you. So apparently Rom took Quark's ticket and used it to save a Dabo girl instead. So Quark is staying. And Quark is yelling. Hope. He's like, anybody, I'll pay. I can't stay. I'll pay anything. There's nobody left. There's nobody left. I'll pay anyone. Multi-Gunman says, Bird of Prey, The Siege of Turkestan by Kuroga. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That's the full title. Shromo says, Bird of Prey, when they did similar evacuation on Babylon 5 before a battle with Earth, they actually had a few down tools to leave rather than fight against other humans. Cool. Shromo says, Bird of Prey, what if O'Brien told the truth? Molly dear, Daddy may be captured, tortured, and killed. If your ship isn't fast enough, they will hunt you down and either make you a slave or kill you. Well, I don't think that's exactly true. I don't think they were going to hunt him down. John Araki again with $1 super chat and again with the JJ Enterprise. And Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, the Bajorans that work with the Federation might be killed as collaborators. But I don't know. That doesn't seem like what's going on here. I mean, these weren't Cardassians. So anyway, the Bajoran bad guy comes on board and is amazed that the entire station seems abandoned. And nobody's around. Linalis, Cisco, the whole crew, everybody's gone. Of course, they're hiding in the Jeffries tubes. John Araki with another $1 super chat. I'm praying for you, John Araki. Come on. Come on, Dax. No! JJ Enterprise again! So apparently Dax is apparently trills in general are very susceptible to insect bites. Dax hates insects. And there was this giant spider-looking thing, and Dax asks, is that a spider or a dog? And she says it's a Bokoku or whatever. The Bajoran moons are full of them. Isn't it interesting that Bajor has multiple moons that all support complex animal life? Too bad Earth doesn't have even one such moon. So they find this rusted out ship that honestly has wouldn't be space worthy. It's like fine. Oh, John Araki again, John Araki. And Wesley Crusher. Thank you, Wesley Crusher. Oh, Dax is saying she's not going to get stuck here eating the barakus, so she's going to get to work on fixing the engine. Wesley did that for John. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, John Araki is going to keep you from sleeping on the streets. That's technically yours, Wes. Thank you. So he says, scan for organic residue or something. He said that the shapeshifter is missing, the station security is missing, but maybe he stayed behind, maybe he left with everybody else. So he's saying scan 6 times an hour at random intervals. How about just scan randomly? So they're pleased to report the evacuation went well, that Federation is evacuated. But the other guy urges caution, says the battle hasn't even begun. And he says he's not even sure that they left. The internal security net was sabotaged. They have no way of tracking anyone's movements, which suggests people didn't want to be easily found. Kira is unaccounted for. So's Lenalis, so's Odo. And he says, you're right, Lenalis would never abandon Bajor. He must be there. And he has to do everything he can to keep Lenalis alive. And now we hear Vedic win. So Vedic win says, what do you give him? Anything? He says, I'll give him anything he wants, short of being the next Kai. So we see Kai win. Not Kai yet. Vedic win. And this guy puts her hands on her. I don't know what he sees in her. 26 hours after being sworn into office, he'll direct the Vedic Assembly to elect her Kai. That doesn't seem like a very good balance of power issue. I have absolutely no way of predicting nor forcing one one animation to play over another. I've told you guys the odds. So Dax and Kira are trying to get the ship to go. I mean, so Dax said, how did you ever win a war with these things? They really didn't. Thank you again, John Araki. So we see that Cisco left so close. We see Cisco left his baseball, which we all know means he's coming back. So now there was some sabotage. The subnet sorted out. The other guy's going to send out search parties looking for these people. So they're passing out MREs because the replicators are about to crash. This food's got to last a while. Miracle of science. Time release formula of all the ingredients, all the nutrients the body needs. So their comm badges still work. Julian and Julian is saying, and O'Brien are talking. O'Brien's saying that he would have expected Julian to appreciate the nutritional value, and Julian said he actually created a candy bar with the same nutrition. It's far superior, but they didn't go with the candy bar. I gotta take a pill, but we'll keep watching. So Odo was pretending to be a wall, and he sees that a 5-man unit is about to do a search near the doctor. So he tells the doctor to move to Cargo Bay 6 and to use deadly force only if absolutely necessary, which I don't know how you can tell. unless their phasers have a different color for what they're set to. So Bashir's team captures the search party. They have their first 5 prisoners of war. And Cisco gives a wink to the rest of the team. So Kira and Dax got that ship out of a cave somehow. It barely could run. It's now in the vacuum of space. Somehow it's airtight. So Dax is saying that they've got no navigation. And Kira's saying it's no big deal. Just use your instincts. She knows the terrain of Bajor. Now they're being fired at. And she has to use her tricorder to figure out what's going on. Well, inertial dampeners seem to be working. Well, they can't outrun them, so they're going down into the atmosphere. How is that a new plan? That was what you were going to do to begin with. She just said you were going to use the terrain of Bajor to find out where you are. You were going down to begin with. This isn't a new plan. Whatever. I hope the chewing isn't too loud. This is the last piece. So O'Brien almost got shot in the head. I imagine that wouldn't have been good. Even on stun, you don't get many headshots. So O'Brien just called for backup. And of course they're able to come. Thank you, Rock Solid. So apparently they've got flash mines. Oh no, not flash. Smoke mines. Smoke grenades, not mines. Excuse me. It amazes me that they still need smoke technology in the future to hide. They don't have holograms or cloaking devices of some sort. And Odo is just turning into another piece of the wall. Oh, he's actually turning into a trip line. So he tripped 2 guys. So now we've got Kira and Dax flying through the Bajoran atmosphere, being attacked. So Kira says the problem is the people flying those ships used to be the people that flew these ships. So Dax has to man the weapons, even though she has no auto aiming. She has to just use her eyes. She's not used to aiming manually. First shot misses, second shot misses, third shot misses, fourth shot's a direct hit. Very good. Apparently, enemy only takes one shot to go down, whereas their shuttle takes a few hits. So there was a fire extinguisher under the seat, but it's empty. She's got to jettison the plasma tank. So they're going to crash land. Manning weapons in the cockpit is double sexist. You're right, Rock Solid. You are absolutely right. So they found out one of the Ferengi Hollow Suites is in use. So they're heading up to the Hollow Suite like they're going to jump in and it's going to be all that easy. And, of course, they think they've captured the people, but obviously it's a hologram. Yep. Now they're locked in the Hollow Suite. Now you can't leave. Even if you pull that off, it's not going to work. So now Cisco is talking to them. He's saying the Cardassians are supplying the weapons. The guy's saying ridiculous. Saying Euro doesn't know the Cardassians are using the Priscillian. And he's saying it's Federation lies. He's saying proof is on its way to Bajor. Once the evidence is presented, the coup will end. You'll be our guests for a while. We don't want to hurt anyone. And then they beam the lead guy back to Ops. So they have access to the transporter system. If they have access to the transporter system, why not transport all the bad guys into a cell? Or, into space. But fine, okay, you don't want to put them into space. You could make a cell. You could turn one of the cargo holds into a jail cell. They could beam everybody into there. This whole thing could be over and done with. So they got the security net up, but they still can't find them. So they know they're in a shielded location. And there's one shielded location on the station. So they know where they are. No, it's not double sexy, Wesley. So Kira's hurt, and Kira is giving the evidence to Dax, saying the only thing important is to getting the evidence to the Bajoran government. And Dax says it'd be much more, it'd be more important, more believable if it comes from you. But Kira doesn't want to move. She's hurt. She orders Dax. Dax says, "You're not my commanding officer anymore." So then Dax picks Kira up, and they have to be quiet because people are passing, and Kira passes out. But hey, any crash lander you can walk away from. So apparently they're about to fill the conduits with anesthetine gas, starting with level 5. But they're on level 3. Cisco saying we should have heard from Kira and Dax by now. O'Brien says maybe they didn't make it. Cisco says we still have an ace in the hole and looks at Linalis. Charo's plan depends on military support, Cisco said. And Cisco telling Linalis that he can sway the generals. Lenalis has to convince them they picked the wrong side. Yeah. Lenalis says, I'd do anything. I'd die for my people. And Cisco cuts him off. Of course you would. Dying gets you off the hook. But they need you to live. Living for your people is a lot harder than dying for your people. Show more they could run a program in the holosuites mirroring DS9, beam them there. That would keep them distracted, but they probably couldn't access the holosuites. Well, they obviously accessed the holosuites. They made a copy of themselves. I don't know if they could program a replica of Deep Space Nine so quickly, but they could have done something. They could have beamed them into the holosuite and made it look like they were beamed into a cargo hold, and then they would have spent hours trying to get out of the cargo hold before they realized they were in a holodeck. So I guess Dax brought... okay, so Dax is dressed as a Vedic. So members of religious orders are the only ones who can go safely in the streets. So Vedic Bareil is going to escort them. Kira is saying no, and Bareil saying don't argue. Jadzia wants to know what does she think of the nose. They gave her a little Bajura nose, and Jadzia says she's thinking of keeping it. So Quark is pushing a very heavy container. Bashir says, leave it. Quark says, I can't. It's all I have. My albums, my mementos. Bashir says, bullshit. He doesn't say bullshit, but he says, no, it's called Press Latinum. And Quark's like, who told you? He said, your mother did. And then Quark gets very upset. Says, never make fun of Ferengi's mother. Rule of Acquisition 31. So Quark leaves his riches behind. Nope, he says he is, but he starts dragging them again. I was going to say that seems against Quark's will. So now the enemy has attacked them at an airlock. So this guy's happy. It means that they flushed him out. The surveillance cameras have been sabotaged, of course. There's 4 people by that airlock. Enemy forces at airlock 14 have surrendered. They've taken prisoners. And the general wants them brought up to him for questioning. Wesley Bird of Prey, I do like the idea of a holodeck jail maze. The door is locked and the D computer does not answer to them. So it turns out that they weren't surrendering. They came down, and it was Lenalis had the gun on him. So Kira comes in. They say, guards, stop the woman, but so Kira comes in with proof that Cardassians are behind the takeover of the government. And this guy saying that Kira is a well-known troublemaker. But Vedic Wynn sees that something is amiss, and Kira pulls out a pad that has the thumb scan of a Cardassian gull that was taken by the Binari. This coup will deliver Bajor back into the hands of its greatest enemy, Cardassians. So Vedic Wynn comes over. He says, Jaro says, I assure you there's nothing to these accusations. And Vedic Wynn says then you'd have no objection to a inspection of this evidence. And he thinks that Wynn's still on his side. The hunky, chunky, funky monkeys in the house with a £2 sterling super chat saying alpaca. Alpaca, hunky, chunky, funky monkey. I told the story of what happened on Nerdrotic's stream earlier in the beginning of the stream. Thank you for coming by. So the general is pissed that this guy withheld information that was supposed to be communicated to him. The other guy says that was lies. So he says that the chamber is in recess while they investigate Cardassian interference. The general's returning to the surface. He expects he'll be asked to resign. He is pissed off. So the general turns out to be not such a bad guy after all, and he believes it's appropriate to turn the station back over to Captain Sisko, since it looks like the provisional government has prevailed, and the guy says no, and he tries to shoot Sisko, but Lee Nollis jumps in, and Lee Nollis takes the hit. And wouldn't you know it, it's one of those times Julian can't do anything about it. And Lee Nollis smiles, off the hook after all. It's what he wanted. And he dies. Poor Lee Nollis. 14 years in a Cardassian labor camp. A couple of weeks, maybe. A few days as a free man. And dead. Wesley's a bird of prey and hologram Starfleet security officers keep attacking them. Or hologram alpacas keep chasing them. Or hologram Cardassians. So Kira's all upset. And Sisko's like, there are heroes all over Bajor. He's sitting with one. And Kira is upset. She doesn't feel like celebrating. So O'Brien's asking something about Lee Nollis. Saying, listening to Kira talk about Lee Nollis makes it sound like he was something larger than life. And so Sisko's saying to O'Brien that he was the hero of the Bajoran resistance. That's how the history books are going to be written, and that's how I'll remember him when anybody asks. Because O'Brien realized that Lee Nollis really wasn't all that he was cracked up to be. The Ganges is back. Meaning Jake is back. As is Molly and Keiko. So there's Jake, and O'Brien didn't even wait for Molly and Keiko to come out. He ran right onto the ship, which was probably good thinking, since he's in the doghouse. And we have the end of the episode, and the end of our season opener, our 3-part season opener. I think part 2 was the strongest part of these last 3 episodes, for sure. I think the resolution was a little quick, but I think that's a common thing in a lot of treks. You know, things get resolved easier than you thought they would be. Here we have a general who turns out to be level-headed. He didn't even wait for the proof. He didn't even wait for the evidence to come in. He just heard that they're reviewing evidence, and he already turns the station back over. I mean, he didn't even wait an hour to see if they came back with actual evidence. Could have been faked, right? He could have said, "It's a fake!" But at this point, the Federation wasn't faking this type of stuff yet. You know, it's like when you're told the only way out is a fight to the death. And then during the fight to the death, you're like, oh, well, if you punch him in the nose, that's considered a bigger humiliation than death. So that's also acceptable, even though it's a fight to the death. It's a fight to the death or a punch to the nose. That's how a lot of Star Trek episodes end. And this one was no exception. But I think it was a great 3-parter. They actually aired these 1 week apart. An episode, a week break, an episode, a week break. So in 2 weeks and a day, you saw 3 episodes. And I think season 2 is where Deep Space Nine really starts to come together. Season 1 wasn't awful. It wasn't great. It wasn't awful. Season 2 is starting out on a very very nice start, and we'll see where the rest of the season goes. Every Wednesday we'll be back here until we get to the end of the series, which is a long time away. But hey, imagine I don't know, 6 months from now or whatever it is, we're going to get to season 3. I don't think it's even 6 months. What do we have? Well, this is episode 3. I think there's 22 episodes, so 20 weeks. So 6 months from now. 6 months from now, we're going to get to the point. Worf is going to be coming on board, and we're going to have some good stuff with season 3. Sisko's going to get to get his goatee back, and then he's going to get to shave his head finally the next season or later in the season. So we're going to get to the gold. We're going to get to the Deep Space Nine gold real soon, or gold press platinum, depending. Rock Solid says, "What is Sassy sending us for a wedding present?" Sassy makes her own figurines. They take a while to harden, and they're brown. How many do you want? But congratulations, Rock Solid. I do remember you mentioned you were getting married. Yeah. So yes, congratulations to Rock Solid. Rock Solid, when is the wedding? When is the wedding? John Street says, Wynn got lucky. She didn't go down with the Bajoran traders. Yeah, Wynn is 2 or 3 steps ahead. She's playing that 4D chess. She doesn't mind. She doesn't mind turning people in. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says, season 2 was where it has to stand on its own. They couldn't rely on TNG as a backstop. Really starts picking up with season 3, though. Yes, absolutely. And I believe season 2 and 3, or season 2 is the only season, one of these next seasons, either this is or next season, is the only season where they were the only Trek on the air. Because then Voyager starts up. Roxas says getting to the end of DS9 is going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time getting from there to here. We get the Defiant, absolutely. It's a nice little ship. Little. Roxas says no poop, bird of prey. Wedding is the 26th. Okay, well, I'll make sure Sassy has lots of little brown figurines hardened out for you by then. Alexander Brooks says, hello, guys. Welcome, Alexander Brooks. John Street says, Rock Solid Sassy is sending you a life supply of Beagle Bits. No Beagle Bits. And Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says, yeah, 2 is the only standalone. Voyager started with Season 3. Well, I much prefer Deep Space Nine to Voyager, but I know there's a lot of people that feel differently. Defiant in Season 3, Worf in Season 4. Thank you, John DeMarco. And yeah, Season 4, I think he's full shaved head. The beard comes back, I think, in Season 3. Shromor says the difference between Picard and Sisko is Picard will talk harshly at you while Sisko will kick you in the naggers. I was going to say balls, but I thought better of it. Well, we saw it in this episode. Sisko literally holds Quark by the neck, choking him for information. He is choking Quark for information, physically using force to get information out of Quark. Captain Picard wouldn't ever do that. In fact, if Captain Picard saw Captain Sisko doing that, Captain Picard would probably call Starfleet Command and say, you got a crazy captain here. He's manhandling Ferengi. And even though I hate the Ferengi, the Federation stands for blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah. Okay, Picard. We know. But some captains, they need to actually get stuff done. And if they got to push around a few Ferengi to get answers out of them, we're giving him a pass. That's why Sisko's great. I don't even think Kirk would have, strangled somebody to get information out of them. I think that even Kirk might have said, that's not sure if we're there yet. Maybe if it was like, if it was going to save a planet, Kirk would probably, choke someone to get the information to save 1 billion people. But, well, yeah, that's true. He would just have Spock mind rape him. And get, like we saw in Star Trek 6. He makes Spock forcibly mind meld with the Vulcan woman to get the Sassy girl, please. He has Spock forcibly mind meld with the woman to get the info on where the peace conference, the peace talks are being held. I mean, forget any type of right against self-incrimination out the window. So yeah, Kirk would have just had Spock mind meld with Quark to get the info, but he wouldn't have actually choked him himself. Sisko does his own dirty work, which we see here and we see later on, which is why I like Sisko so much, to be honest. Rock Solid says all Sassy's brown bits can be sent to Tennessee. That's a good idea. Rock Solid, Anti-Trekker probably would enjoy some toys while he's recovering. Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Picard was a diplomat, Sisko was a soldier. I could see that. And O'Brien was a soldier too, so he didn't mind backing up Sisko when he needed it. Cinnabon says Kirk would have just talked them into killing themselves. I don't think so. Shromor says Rock Solid, Bird of Prey can send them to Anti-Trekker. Tell them they are chocolate truffles. I would never do that. I'd never do that, not because I wouldn't do it to Anti-Trekker, but because I'd be afraid he would share it with Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Jason Link says, Qapla, Qapla, Jason Link. So I think that brings us to the end of this episode. I'm happy. I enjoyed it. You know, ended a little easy, but whatever. Kira makes amazing recovery, even though we thought she was a goner. Dax got her to the right place. I'm not complaining. This is the Star Trek I grew up with. This is the Star Trek I enjoy, and you know, I think a lot of people do. More people than you would think. Put it that way. So guys, tomorrow we'll probably do a Space Engineers stream. So if you've got any ships you're gonna want to battle, tomorrow's probably the day. And Friday we'll be doing a bed life, and you know, we'll go from there. And remember, tonight's Wednesday night. I don't know if you'll be there, but Anti-Trigger might be on Midnight's Edge After Dark. So check out Midnight's Edge After Dark around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Check if he's on there. And then this Friday, Anti-Trekker is going to be on Nerdrotic stream, Friday night stream. So remember to check that out too. I'll be there Friday. We'll wanna all see that. Thomas Bot says 22 watching, 15 likes. Alexander says, Cinnabon, I just subbed to you. I heard Anti-Dragon talking about live stream this morning. Very cool. Yes, Cinnabon does a lot of gaming streams. Space Engineers and other games. Cinnabon says, thank you. And Roxas says, this is the weekend. I'll be live from Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Very cool. Guys, check out Rock Solid Productions channel. He does a lot of retro video game stuff. The Sega Genesis Mini and actual just real games, not mini consoles, but all types of retro stuff. Very cool. Check out Life with Matthew's channel. He does great videos on various nerd stuff. He did a Joker review. That was pretty cool. No, tomorrow will not be the death of Sinatra. The Sinatra will shine. Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says, apologies for the late arrival. I may or may not have been recording my first video. Oh, very cool, Hunky Chunky. So people should check out Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey's channel. And I assume you'll want people to subscribe to you if you maybe are doing your first video. I understand. And Commodore Ty, check out Commodore Ty's channel as well. Commodore Ty's been putting out videos for a while, various Star Trek and such related videos, reviews and such. Check out Commodore Ty. Thomas Preston, this is Thomas Preston, not Thomas Potts. I apologize, Thomas Preston. Every time I see Thomas, I think Thomas Potts because he's here. So Thomas Preston says 22 watching with 15 likes. Thank you, Thomas Preston. My apologies. Thomas Potts is shaking his head. The alpacas will display its broken hull. No, they will not. Okay? If the ship you brought up today, Cinnabon, is any indication of alpaca tech, the Sinatra will wipe it out, will wipe it from existence. There won't even be debris left. It'll just be vaporized. Continuum Track says, how are you, Bird of Prey? I'm doing good, Continuum Track. We're just about at the end of the stream. Check out Continuum Track channel too, by the way. Continuum Track is another one of our certified nerds on antitrekker.com.
Comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything BirdoPrey5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.